There was a day that changed my life forever. The day I said goodbye to porn. I'm just going to talk about my own story towards NoFap and porn and all. This is not a 1v1 coaching. If you're interested towards that, there's a link in the description, first link. And that's not a video on the top 7 ways of stopping porn or escaping relapse or anything. It's just me sharing with you how did I manage to go through all this. First of all, you need to know how did I lived with this when I was like 14, 15, 16. It was something I'd say you could be proud of it. Like, it wasn't anything strange. You would literally go to school and I would talk with my friends about like, who is the top one and why do you think that porn star is the top one. When I see it from afar, like in a third person view, it's really cringe, like, but at that time it wasn't cringe at all. We would just like talk about it and talk about like, I'd say, features of every porn star and things. And it was a usual thing for me. Like, every day I'd watch like 2 to 3 times each day. Like, I was doing it a lot when I was a lot younger, like I said, 15, 16. So my circle of friends and I, it was a natural thing to do almost. Like, you wasn't being ashamed for doing that, which is like strange. It was like almost a joke. Like, we were just joking around and it was like a normal thing to do. Nobody taught us like, oh, it's bad and you'll get addicted and everything. It was just like normal. Like, when I was younger, I was playing hockey. And like in the locker, we were talking about like things like that. And it was just like normal. It wasn't like bad. And when I changed school, while I changed school, that's when I discovered about self-improvement and I kind of started that journey. And when I started that journey, I first heard about NoFap, which is like a main topic in self-improvement. And that's how I learned, after doing a lot of research on the internet, that NoFap was like the fact that you don't watch porn, you stop fapping and all. And after my research, I found that it was really negative doing that. It really wasn't a great thing to do. And that's how I started trying to stop that addiction. But at first, it was really, really hard. When I first started trying to get free from that addiction, I started by trying to fill the loose time that I had. That's the first strategy that I heard of. It was like, if you don't have the time to go and fap, you won't fap. So you're like, technically you're stopping. And at that point in my life, it was making sense to try that. So I tried it and like, it worked for the first week, since I had like maybe 1 to 2 hours more each day to do something. So I just filled time with like maybe playing more hockey or doing something else, going with my friends in the park or something. And at first it was doing great, but after 1 week, I had like loose time, and first thing that my brain thought is, oh, straight up, I went again and fapped again. So I was back into it, and now I restarted doing it 2-3 times a day, and the addiction wasn't finished. Then I tried another strategy. That was taking a cold shower and or running outside before you have the temptation. So like, if you want to go do it, first you have to go do this, and after doing this, you can now go if you still have the wanting to. But that technique was like something special, because it makes my brain think that if I want to achieve this becomes the goal, like the reward, and now I have to work for having the reward. So that's like really fucked up if you think about it, because now my brain thinks that fapping is a reward, when in fact it's like really negative, it's a really bad thing, and I should try to stop doing it. Now my brain thinks, if you want to have this reward, you have to work. So when I get this reward, it creates me a lot more dopamine, because now I worked for it, so I had to do work before having my rewards. So this wasn't a good strategy, and while keeping on doing a lot of strategies, I found out that a strategy isn't what's going to help me. What's going to really help me is in my mindset. It's something that I have to think about. The perception that I have of fapping isn't great. What I figured out is that I think of fapping as a solution to something. So, for example, if I was bored, I go fap because I saw fapping as a solution to my boredness. Or if I was feeling stressful, I go fap because it relieves my stress. So I was seeing fapping as a solution instead of what it really is, and it's only like a temporary solution, because for the like 20 minutes that after it, your problem is solved, but after it just come back. While doing the strategy, the no fap strategy, when I failed doing them, like I was continuing fapping, I realized like I was so ashamed of myself, like I was feeling like shit. I thought that I was like really not good and not a good person at all, because I couldn't stop myself from doing this bad habit. And every time that I did it, I was like, oh damn, I think I'm like in a prison. I felt like I was in a prison, like I couldn't move and I couldn't like pass a day without doing it. It was like something that was really necessary for me, and I had to do it like at least once every day. And with this mind shift that I just talked about, I did it like a last time, like, but it was calculated this time. I said to myself, now I know that it's going to be my last time. That's a promise that I made to myself. I wrote it on a piece of paper and I did it. But this time I wasn't even happy to do it, because I had all the knowledge that I needed to like stop. So I made it a last time, even though I didn't really want it to make it, because I already had the mind of someone who was going to stop. And when I did it, I wasn't really like enjoying this, I'd say. I didn't force myself, but I mean, like, I didn't want to do it, and I did it just to finish this whole like season of fapping in my life. So that's how I really closed the chapter of fapping in my life. I did it last time, and just to prove to myself like that it was really the last time, like maybe a month after, I didn't do it for the whole month, and a month after I went on the site and I watched a video just to see like if I feel something again, because I know that a lot of time people do this. And also I felt to myself like, hey, it's good that I'm not thinking about it anymore, but if I see like soft porn, I don't know, on Instagram, and now I want to fap again, like things wouldn't work. So just to prove to myself that I'm really not that same person anymore, and to prove to myself that I really get through this, I went on the site and watched a video, and I was just like there watching the video, and I was like feeling disgusted, but not at myself for watching the video. I was feeling disgusted at the video. Like I don't even know how to really like make you understand this, but usually when I was fapping, I was feeling disgusted about myself because I wasted all the semen away. I fapped to a girl without her consent. I was feeling like a voyeur, like watching someone fuck the girl that I wanted to fuck. It was all these cringe things. And now, while I was watching this, I was feeling disgusted at the girl for doing this as a job, for the guy just fucking this girl, and I was feeling disgusted about the whole topic of like porn. I was like, what the fuck, like people really do this. And I was feeling so proud of myself for basically having changed, like had become that new person with these new sets of beliefs, and just seeing myself as someone who is not even thinking about this as a solution. Like usually when I was bored, I was going fapping. Now when I'm bored, I know that I have things to do, and I just look at my checklist things and I go do it. I go do another video. I go work on this business and things. When I'm feeling stressed, I have other solution to stress, and I now know that fapping isn't a solution. It's not even in my I'd say suggested list. Like when you think about a solution to your problem, you have like a imaginary list of things that you can choose from to resolve that problem. And me, I don't even have porn in this list. Like I don't even think about it. It's not even part of that list. It's not even part of my life anymore. I don't even think about it. Like the only time that I have thoughts about it is when I'm making a nofap video, because because if I want to make nofap, I have to basically think like someone who is on that journey. So it's easier for me to help you if I'm putting myself at your place. So that's the only time that I think about this aspect. But it's not even part of my life anymore, and I'm so like grateful of this and so proud of myself. That was really my own story, and that's what I wanted to kind of transmit to you. I'm not here to tell you how to do it. Like I said, if you really want a road to follow and something, I have a course on that, a coach thing. But I was just really here to prove to you that it's possible to stop, like definitely, and that if I could do it, you can too. What you have to understand is that this addiction and this fight is really your own fight. You're the only one who can stop it. And if you can think about it as depression, I have a lot of people in my family that have depression, but I don't have depression. But because they all had this, it's easier for me because they talked about it a lot to me, and I have like a psychological mind. Like I love psychology, and I read a lot of books about it, and so I know that in order for you to get through depression, it's a fight against you alone. You're the only one who can fight through this, and people around you can only help you and support you, but the one that is really going to make the change is you. And that's the same principle for porn addiction and any addiction really, even like cigarettes, drugs and things. The only person that can make you stop is you and what you think about this. So the problem and the addiction really comes from your mind and what are your thoughts about this topic. And my story proves what I'm saying, because I didn't stop because of a strategy. I stopped because of what I was thinking about fapping and the mindset shift that I had. The new vision that I have on this problem is that I'm not longer someone who is trying to stop. I'm someone who is not even thinking about this as a solution. Like I'm not even someone who is doing it. Anyway, I really hope that this video helped you make your mind on these terrible habits, and I wish you to take care of yourself. Mwah.